I don't really have a direction with this other than just destroy. I'm going to a castle. We have booked a holiday for next week and we are staying in the converted apartments on Ludlow Castle grounds and I am so excited. Obviously I need to take something with me, so we're gonna make something to shoot at the castle. Originally I was thinking of doing an everyday medieval outfit kind of video. Instead decided to do our second tale of terror, which is equally exciting. And Ludlow Castle is perfect for this. History lesson. Ludlow Castle is most well known for its Tudor connections, specifically with the death of Prince Arthur, who was Henry VIII's older brother, and he should have been king had he not died. Because of Prince Arthur's death, we got Henry VIII, and then we got the Horrible History song and the musical 6. Anyway, all of this links to one of my favourite legends. Well, more accurately, curses. We all know the legend of King Arthur. He was the one true king and then he died and now we're all kind of just hanging around waiting for him to come back. There is this curse where any royal who has the audacity to name their firstborn son and heir Arthur, that little prince is not gonna make it. We have had 2 Prince Arthurs in our history who were heirs to the throne, and both of them have tragically died before they made it to the throne. And this then ties into there being a curse around it, how there can only be one true King Arthur. The most recent Prince Arthur that we had was the Tudors, and he died at Ludlow Castle. And for how I've turned this into a tale of terror, my logic and the little story that I've created in my head, the Lady of the Lake is the one who enforces this curse. It's gonna be this phantom-like spirit who just manifests to essentially murder any prince called Arthur who might take the throne. And the last time she would have manifested would have been at Ludlow Castle, which is why I really want to do the shoot there. Allow me to walk you through my design. I've gone with a very ancient style of clothing construction, but I think I'm gonna add in some medieval shapes in there. Overall, I'm keeping the historical ties very loose because I want her to be not of this world. Very ancient spirit who is like now tied in with King Arthur and stuff, but she existed long before that. Plan to weather this to hell. I want her to look so ghoulish and just grim and menacing and murdery. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Materials wise, I have this very fluid satin, which I adore. The way it moves and reflects light, it just feels like water. It is absolutely beautiful. And then for the join bits that go along the arms, I have leftover pearl buttons from when I did Crimson Peak last year. Was that last year or was that 2 years ago? I don't know, whenever I did Crimson Peak, I have leftover pearl buttons that I'm gonna use across the arms. Going for like natural lake-like materials. And in that same vein, I thrifted these 2 necklaces a couple of days ago. They have loads of unusual natural shaped stones in them. I'm gonna salvage these beads to stitch them along the dress, mainly around the neck kind of area. I'm gonna be destroying it, we're gonna be weathering it to hell, putting loads of paint on it, ripping it up, and just it's gonna be so much fun. I love doing this kind of stuff. The only thing that I don't love, come down here for some real talk. I have 2 days to make this. After that, we're going. So I need to try and get all of this done. Am I feeling the pressure? Yeah, a little bit. To start out with, I need to cut 2 really big rectangles. I'm gonna do them hanging this way because the fabric drapes the nicest this way. Perfect arm width, so that works. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Basing the construction of this dress off Roman tunics, I needed to cut out 1 rectangle to my shoulder to floor height and then a second one with an extra 20 inches or so on top of that for a train. I then joined these pieces together with safety pins along the top edge so I could try it on before committing to doing any sewing. This already feels very floaty and magical. It is warm though. I think I definitely want to work on the placement of where I join it because I'd like it to droop a bit more around the neck rather than sitting flat across like this, even though this does look cool. Sleeve wise, I'm gonna have to put this down and just hope you can still hear me. I can either leave them as like the big rectangles and then I'll wear like a belt with it to kind of hook it up and then gather it so it'll fall like that. Or I could actually cut into this and cut like a swooping curve and then have the dress join here and then the sleeve join there, essentially cutting out like a triangle. I'm gonna stand like this and I will draw on with graphics what I am talking about. I could do that. I think I need a makeshift belt so I can actually see how this looks. Well, this does look cool. Very cool. But I'm not sure if it's the right Lady of the Lake vibe. I'm thinking cutting it might be the better option for specifically what I'm going for. Whilst I originally planned to put some curve into the sleeves, I decided to cut them out as large triangular shapes instead because it meant keeping as much fabric as possible in the dress so they could be as big and dramatic as I could get them. I also used this opportunity to curve the train into the front of the dress. It worked! These sleeves are perfect, they're exactly what I wanted. The dress still flows really well even though it's had some of the sides cut out of it to make the sleeves. The only thing is I do just need to shape the neckline a bit more. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. It's very warm to wear, but I like it. Head back up to the studio and get sewing. It is so warm in here today. I've had to close the blinds to just block the sunlight coming in because that is a very hot sun. Just going to get the machine threaded up and then we're gonna machine through those sleeve and side seams that we did downstairs. Actually putting on glasses while straining to do something? Who is she? The underarms have gone a little bit pinchy. I might have to fix that. I'm still happy with the overall shape of it though as it moves and it's all very dramatic. Need to figure out the neckline. I don't want it this higher. Do I just go around neckline? Do I just bring it down and curve it? Would that work? I'm not putting the bead straight across it like this. I'm just using it to be lazy and not have to draw out different necklines. I'm just gonna cut something. Yeah, I think that'll do. It'll come down a bit lower because obviously I've got to hem it in. Now I need to sit and pin all of the hems along all of the edges. It is too warm in here. I need to do all along the top of the arms and the neck area. And then the actual drop on the sleeves has a selvage on it as well, so I need to fold that in and stitch that down too. I might have to tap out soon. It's too warm in here. I'm dying. She is so damn pretty. It's almost a shame that I'm going to spend the entire day just destroying it, but equally I'm really looking forward to spending the entire day just destroying it. I've stitched in all of the hemlines around the top. The bottom of it is still raw, and I think I'm just going to leave it that way because I'm really just going to lean into it with the distressed look. It still has safety pins in, holding it all together. I have switched how many I'm doing. Before I had 4 on each side, but now I've just gone with 3 instead, and I've tried it on And I think I much prefer how it looks on the arms with 3 instead of 4, so I'm going to keep that. I didn't want to put the actual pearl buttons on yet because I'm about to get really messy with loads of like sanding and painting and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't want to ruin the buttons during that process. Whereas I don't care what happens to the safety pins. I'm going to have to temporarily unplug my light just so I can move this extension lead. I don't really have a direction with this other than just destroy. The obvious place to start is at the front. It's too long and it'll make me fall over, so I need to shorten the front. How do people do that thing where they just rip fabric? Because like, I don't get it. Ooh! Okay, that was fun. Ooh, new talent unlocked. After utilising my new skill as much as I could, I spent an outrageously long time cutting in loads of little holes and slashes across the bottom half of the dress and the sleeves. I then went back into the dress with some sandpaper. Initially I was just doing it to soften the cuts so they looked more weathered and like holes in the garment. As I was going, I really loved the bubble effect it created in the fabric, so I really leaned into it and did this across the whole skirt. It was exhausting. And for this next bit, I wanted to show you the full dress, so the camera is going to be temporarily vertical. Look at it! She will do very, very nicely. It has taken me significantly longer than I thought it would to do all of this tearing and sanding down of the fabric. I might still go into it and do a bit more. Kind of hard to tell right now because it's all just one blank, clean colour. Just need to start getting it messy with the paint so I can see if it's enough or not. Next stage, I'm gonna get all of this soaking wet. Then we're gonna put it on the mannequin. I'm gonna cover the floor as well. And then we're gonna get the paint out. Is it even a real tale of terror if I don't have to Dexter part of my room? This thing is so heavy now. Now that I've gone through the effort to put it back on the mannequin, I'm thinking I'm actually going to take it back off. The bottom of it just needs to be completely destroyed in every sense. And it kind of just seems like it's going to be quicker just to get the whole thing and just dip it into some watered down paint and then back out and then just wring it out rather than painting that on with a paintbrush. So I'm going to do that. I'm aware usually you would just do a dye bath. You'd just do an ombre dye bath. But dye baths take time and you have to heat the water up and you have to leave it for so long, whereas if I just make a bucket of watered down paint, I can just dip it in and out and we're done. This feels like something I'm gonna regret doing. That splashed more than I thought it would. I'm gonna change out of these trousers because I live in these things and I'm gonna be very upset if I get paint on them. These are fine, these already have paint on them. I feel like I should be doing this outside, but I've kind of committed to just doing it here now. I am gonna go and get one of my old painting towels for when this comes out though. This is gonna be fine. This is a good idea. This is fine. We're doing it. Okay. This is fine. believe that worked. Happy with the base layer, I then added in some darker tones using a sponge and lots of excess water so it would spread naturally across the fabric. When I started adding more paint higher up the dress, I discovered that using my hands gave it a really cool effect, so I started scrunching paint across the whole dress too. It is a really good job that I switched out of my trousers. I think the colour's gone on really well, and it's definitely brought out all of the weathering and sanding that I've done. I am going to try and add in a little bit of colour. I'm going to try and add some greens in. I have concocted myself a nice little green solution to start adding some algae-like growth onto the dress, as this is our Lady of the Lake after all. Handled this very badly. It is a mess in here. The floor is just a pool, and there's definitely a hole in the black bag there, so it's probably gone on the actual floor, which is fantastic. The bigger problem is all of the splatter that's now on the wall. Because I thought, I don't need to put black bags on the wall. I'm not splattering anything, I'm just painting it. But it was very wet, so it went everywhere. I know I said I was finishing this in 2 days, but work and stay free. All I need to do is add all the beads on, which hopefully will not take me very long today because I have a billion other things to do before we leave. She has dried beautifully. Like, look at that girl. For the belt, I've basically just looked out because this metal one works really well with it. I don't even know what you'd call this style of belt, but we picked it up from an antique shop a couple of years ago and it just fits my waist perfectly, so very lucky. I'm gonna start by adding the beads along the neck and shoulder area so I can actually take these safety pins out. And then we're gonna cut up the necklaces and salvage the beads I want from that, and I'm gonna dot them around the neckline and maybe a couple on the sleeves and maybe some on the skirt. I'm just gonna feel it out and see how it all looks. The beads that are going along the arms, I know I was going to use those pearl buttons. Dan was looking for our bead stash and he pulled out some beads and was like, hey, these would look really good on it. And as much as I hate to admit it, he's right, they will look really good on it. They're a brassy gold colour with these Celtic swirls on, so I think it's going to go really well with the whole Arthurian vibes of it. I can't get the paint out from my nails, so they just look really gross and dirty at the minute. So that is today's plan. I'm just going to get on with adding a bunch of beads onto this thing, and then she is just finished, so I can pack her up ready to take with us. This project was amazing. I love doing Tales of Terror. This series is the best. I am really thrilled with how the whole thing turned out, considering I had to throw it together so quickly. Shooting at the castle was genuinely amazing, but also probably one of the scariest things I have done. I had to psych myself up so much to actually get changed and go and do that around people in a tourist attraction site. It was nerve-wracking. I've really gotten into this story of the King Arthur legend being all cursed, and I kind of really want to do a King Arthur as well. In my head, his one is more of the fact that he can't return because he's just trapped in like this in-between life and death state. So he'd kind of be like a ghost zombie King Arthur, which I think could be really fun to make. Don't know if I'll do it, but it's a fun idea. And in terms of some projects that I actually do have planned, I am very excited to announce that I will be doing another collaboration video with Lady Annabelle. And this time it is going to be even better because she is actually coming to the UK and we are going to be able to do a shoot together with the things that we've made. And I am very excited for it. Dan has agreed to be our cameraman and I've already scouted a location for us. It's gonna be fun. Now, before I sign off, I wanted to ask you all really quickly. My channel has grown a fair bit lately, a lot more than I was expecting. That obviously makes me really happy because it's really cool to have so many people here and that this very awesome friendly space is growing so much. I am very, very close to hitting 20K and I didn't know if I should do some kind of project for that, like a voted for project or a designed by you guys project, or I don't know, something collaborative that we can all like work together on. I thought it might be a fun idea, but I wasn't entirely sure what, or if anyone would be interested in that. So I'm just putting it out there as a, should we do this over summer kind of thing? Thank you so much for watching along. I really hope you guys enjoyed the second edition of the Tales of Terror series. I really cannot wait to continue this. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see my upcoming videos, and feel free to leave me a comment down below because you know how much I love to chat to you all. And I will see you all in my next video where we will be getting back to some historical sewing. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. Whew. Do you reckon that's going to stain my patio? Why do I get so embarrassed whenever I talk about my channel? Oh my god. I want to do a corpse bride so badly. I actually do. Oh my god.